Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and today I am talking about does 40k always win the warp? Well, in particularly how. See, the warp is weird. I mean, there's the understatement of the year award. Thank you very much. I well deserve it. But it is hell. It's also how you happen to travel through if you want to get somewhere quickly. But unlike any other universe, in any other setting, you're going there. You die in 40k. It doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter how good you are. You're going to the warp. That's where your soul will end up. Hopefully you end up in the City of Dust, which is the Emperor's bit, or whichever Chaos God you care to worship. But you are going to end up there. Now, does 40k win in the stakes of the devilish afterlife? Well, yeah. And as much as I would like to say it's close, or even, semi-comparatively, even, it is not. It is so far apart, it's unbelievable. See, the warp, unlike any other universe, is made up of sections. We know we got the main four: Nurgle, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, Khorne. So if you die in any particular way, like if you die over a drug overdose, you're probably going to end up under Slaanesh's hedonism. If you die of a disease, you're going to end up in Nurgle. If you died by backstabbing or you were a particular trickster, you're going to Tzeentch. Warrior or died in war, you're going to see Khorne. And we're not just talking about, Khorne, skulls for the skull throne and all that nonsense. How you die does kind of decide where you're going to go as well. You're not sort of always decided. But also, if you're a worshipper, you're probably going to go there too. Or if you're Eldari, you're going to Slaanesh if you don't have a soul stone. But Chaos Undivided, yeah, you end up just in the warp. You might get picked up by a particular god. There's also, which is kind of weird, this is a weird one. If you go to and from gods, and you don't really decide to worship one, but you flip-flop constantly, you may end up as a fury. And there's also, of course, the fact that a plague bearer is made by people who died of Nurgle's rot. So there's many different ways of getting to different places in the war. However, and just like I said, just remember, doesn't matter if you were good or bad during your life, you're going there. You're going to the warp. Okay? However, with, let's say, Image, we'll continue with Image, because that's the one I've been constant with. Image, DC and Marvel, if you're good, you're going to go to heaven. You fill in the right blanks. I mean, Image you do also, if you're not killed by the darkness. If you're killed by the darkness, you're going to the darkness. How good or bad, doesn't matter. But that's the only exception to this rule. But, if you're good, you're going to heaven. If you're bad, you're going to hell. So there isn't a guarantee you're going to end up in a place you wish you weren't. Unlike 40k, you're just bang out of luck. Straight away. And then there is the differences. Now, I did that little short, could Primarchs speak to chicken, and about Poyo. That is an exception to this. Poyo is a character in the Image comics. He's from the Chew comics. He is a chicken. And yes, he did defeat the minions of hell. But we're not going to use him because he's such a silly... he's just so hyperbolic. His whole thing's hyperbolic. I don't think it would be fair to use him. But we can use Spawn. Spawn is a massively powerful guy. He is insanely strong. He could probably beat the Chaos Gods. I'm not being hyperbolic here. He probably could. I'm not saying like, Spawn's so strong, he could beat everyone. But the problem with Spawn beating the Chaos Gods isn't the fight with the Chaos Gods themselves. It's the warp that would beat him. I know it sounds weird. Yeah, he has his necroplasm suit. But that's not part of the 40k universe. It doesn't have to obey. Anything that makes him strong doesn't have to be obeyed by the warp's rules. Because the warp has no rules, but it has many at the same time. It's a contradiction. Spawn would probably not survive the warp. Even to get to the point of the gods themselves, he would probably be defeated by the actual area. Unlike the Hell in Image, where he can walk through it like it was a summer's day. And he is absolutely, at the moment, walking through the Hell at the moment. He's trying to stop a civil war. But if he was to go through the warp, he would struggle. Same with DC and Marvel. Their demons are set by the rules of a normal hell, where there is one leader, one ruler, and yes, there's fighting, but there is one. If you die or you know, and you're naughty, you're going there. Even it, you don't have any problems, and also let's not forget that it is just the one place. There's many circles and many leaders. Like when I say leaders, like hierarchy, but there is just the one place. So you're not going to be too worried about how you die if you're a bad person. Just that where where you're ending up, just which circle you're going to end up with, and whether or not you're going to be stuck there. So that's the warp. Now let's talk about the demons. Yeah, once again, the demons of the warp are insanely powerful. I'm not saying they could defeat Spawn or some of the demons of 40k. I would say they might be able to defeat like the demons of Marvel, because they get their asses handed to them by normal people, and the demons in DC got tricked by Constantine. Yeah, he's a smart guy, don't get me wrong, but to trick 3 of the main demons, main guys in Hell in DC, to the point that they've had to make him immortal, because killing him will cause such a civil war in Hell that heaven would destroy Hell. Yeah, that's canon, by the way, and it's also what was kind of the story the film Constantine was based on as well. So, yeah, they were tricked by a mortal. Tzeentch has never been really tricked by a mortal. He's just so smart. Yeah, I can't see Constantine putting the wall over to Tzeentch's eyes. And that's just one part of the warp. That's just one part. And that would be definitely the part Constantine would go to. I can't see him going to Hell. Maybe Slaanesh, kind of, if you know his backstory, but he doesn't tend to be too hedonistic. He would definitely end up in Tzeentch's realm, and I can't see him tricking Tzeentch. I mean, he tricked Satan and his 2 brothers in DC, but okay, Vertigo, technically, but not Tzeentch. He wouldn't be able to do that. Unlike someone like Ahriman or Magnus. Yeah, if Constantine can trick the devil they're not going to struggle. They won't struggle about tricking them either. They would probably pull an even bigger move to make it even worse as well. Spawn would probably just blast Tzeentch in the face. I'm not joking. He wouldn't even try to answer any riddles or anything like that. He just blast him. He has 0 time. Could he beat Tzeentch? Probably. He has beaten God. But like I said, with Spawn, he would probably not even get that close with the way the warp works compared to other Hells in other universes. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you, but 40k would beat the actual area is super strong, and their demons are pretty cool too. But when comparatively to like the Image one, I can't see the Image demons losing to the 40k demons. But the thing is, it is the warp itself who would end up beating the demons in Image, like in the Spawn comics, the Spawn universe, because they're not used to that level of magic. It's their Hell isn't this big magical place. It's Hell. It's just the afterlife. And there you go. That's why I think 40k will win this one. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Links to Wayland Games down below if you wish to save 20% on your Warhammer, and free delivery after £20. Forbidden Planet as well, for comics, DVDs, mangas, etc. etc. There is my merchandising comics as well. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.